I am a member of TAP Team 2 & Company. We are based in Philadelphia, and we do school assembly programs and workshops and residencies with young audiences.
How many of you know the two places where we get the ideas for the making of tap dance as we see it today? Now, one place is a country, and the second place is a continent. Anybody think they might know the answer?
Africa.
Aha! Africa is the continent. Please stand up nice and tall. And what is your name?
Catherine.
Catherine. Please give Catherine a hand for Africa. So Africa is the continent. We're looking for a much smaller place. It's a country. Oh, you went back down. Actually the holiday is coming up soon. St. Patrick's Day. There are lots of rainbows and green in this place. Yes? Yes, stand up nice and tall. And what is your name?
Milani.
Milani? Milani said Ireland. She is correct. Please give her a hand.
We know about these dances because of people called dance masters. So I want to hear loud and clear, dance masters.
Dance masters!
Very good. Now the dance masters, they used to travel around the country. They were going from small town to small town, and they were teaching those dances. And it was said, when they came to different towns, people would take their doors out of the walls and place them down on the floor. And the reason why they did that is because back in those days, well, they didn't have asphalt, solid floors like we do today. Their floors were made from soil or dirt. So, in order for the dance masters to have something flat and solid to dance on, people took their doors out of the walls, placed them down on the floor, so the dance masters could get on the top of the door and dance. And now I'm going to show you an Irish jig.
Different tribes and different cultures, they used to do different dances to celebrate different occasions, like the birth of a baby, the wedding of a king, or the harvest being brought in, different occasions like this. Now in Africa, there were two things that were very important to pay respect to. One was the ancestors. Can everybody say ancestors? Now the second thing that was important to pay respect to in Africa was the drum. Now the drum was not only used just as a form of music, it was actually used as a form of communication. How many of you guys use a telephone on a daily basis? You call your friends, you call grandma, mom, dad, right? Well, there was a time when telephones did not exist. And during this time in Africa, they would use the rhythms from the drums.
These were two ideas that we got from Africa and Ireland. And then three men came along to these ideas and helped to create an art form which we know as tap dancing. But it was called hoofing back in 1920s and 30s. And the very first man who came along was a man by the name King Rastus Brown. And he created the very first time step, which was flat-footed time step, called back time step. And the time step went and sounded just like this.
Now the second guy to come along, he was probably the most famous tap dancer of them all. His name is Bill Bojangles Robinson. Tap dancing was once a flat-footed style of dance, but because of Bill Bojangles Robinson, it suddenly had a bounce to it.
John Douglas created his very own time step. But I don't know the time step. Queen doesn't know the time step. Actually, nobody knows that time step. So, we know for sure just the beginning, which is Krempel.
So in order to do the dance like the Shim Sham Shimmy, there are 7 basic steps that we all need to know as beginner tap dancers so that we can learn how to become tap dancers. So our first basic step that all tap dancers must need to know how to do, believe it or not, is walking. Walking, stepping in place, marching. This is our first basic step. So if everyone can follow Miss Vana and walk in place like so. If all my volunteers can go up to their tippy toes, this time we're going to do the same thing on our toes. 1, 2, ready, we have walked. This is our second basic step, which are called poses. If all my volunteers can shift back to their heels, this time we're going to do the same thing on our heels. 1, 2, ready, we have walked. This is our third basic step. If all my volunteers can stand up nice and tall and pick up your right foot. Your right foot. Now using just the toe part of your foot, just the toe, we want you to gently brush the floor going forward. Just like you're kicking a soccer ball, but much more gentle. So this is our fourth basic step. If all my volunteers can stand up nice and tall, and this time pick up your left foot. Your left foot. Now we're going to alternate from the left to the right, from the left to the right, from the left to the right, so forth and so on. Now using just the toe part of your foot, we want you to brush the floor forward and then try to step just on your toe. Now use the other leg. We have brush and step, other leg, brush and step, and step. Now this is our sixth basic step, which is called a flat. F-L-A-T.
All right.
Flat.
Let's go faster.
A little faster. Brush, step, brush, step, brush, step, brush, step, brush, step, brush, step, brush, step. Very good. Brush, step, brush, step. Now once you have chosen that leg, all we need you to do is hop. Hopping is our seventh and final basic step.
I learned that there are six different rules in tap dancing.
You guys have been a wonderful audience. We hope you enjoyed the show. Hopefully we'll be back sooner than you think. Peace, God bless you all. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.